And in this video, we're going to look at another alternative web browser for Windows, Opera. It's a very nice web browser by the Opera company. So go ahead and say download Opera, and go ahead and go to its site. Opera is also available for Mac and Linux. So go ahead and download and save it. This is a nice web browser if you want it to be an alternative to Internet Explorer. So go ahead. It's a very good web browser. So once this finished downloading, we can go ahead and install. Double click this program and it should launch the extracting of files and preparing the installation Shield Wizard. Installation doesn't take long, and we can take a look at Opera and see what it's about. If you've never heard of Opera, it's another web browser for Windows. Great. And it's one of the top alternative web browsers besides Internet Explorer. So let's let this install. In previous videos, we looked at Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome, and Flock, and now looking at Opera. And most of these free web browsers are also available for Mac and Linux. Installation is almost complete. We see that there's a little Opera icon here, and now the installation has completed. It asks us to run Opera when I finish. We're gonna say why not. Close the downloading, and it's going to open up Opera, and we see it has opened, and we get this startup page. Of course, you can go ahead and change the home page. Opera has what's known as your speed dials, which instantly lets you get to your sites when Opera opens. You have skids, or skins for Opera. Now let's take a look at some of these things here. Just like in previous videos when we looked at other web browsers, we have tabs here. And if we click this plus symbol, we can add tabs. And when you add a tab, you can go ahead and you'll see these numbers in these boxes here. These are all empty websites that you can easily navigate to when you have chosen them. So let's go and click here, and we're going to enter a web address, and we're going to say www.microsoft.com and click on OK on that, and this will basically take us to the Microsoft page. And if we click it, it's kind of like a shortcut to the Microsoft or whatever website address you gave to the speed dial. So basically, when you open up Opera, if we close it and then reopen it again, it asks us first if it's the default. I don't want it to be the default, and we see that it instantly takes us back to our open the tabs and so forth, and it shows us our speed dial, which are basically easier and quicker ways to get to sites, which is very nice and very convenient. We have tabs here, and just like in previous videos of in other web browsers, you can go ahead and rearrange tabs to meet your needs. Settings here, bookmarks, other settings, widgets. Opera does support widgets, so if you wanted to add some widgets here, you can click and find all kinds of widgets to add here. All kinds of things. And when you go to your widgets, they will be placed here. So go ahead and get that if you choose to. They have all kinds of widgets, so you'll find something that you'll like. Notes, transfers, history, and these can be adjusted and set to your preference. These buttons here take you back and forth. These buttons with the two arrows going to the left and going to the right takes you right back to the first page you were at, and then this one takes you back to the very last page you were at. Here's your refresh button. We talked about that in previous videos. And the home button we also talked about. Here's the address bar, of course. And just like in previous videos, we did talk about the search boxes. And here, just like in others, Opera does has a search box. Its default is Google. You can go ahead and change to different search providers. If you look at the bottom, you see this 100%. This allows you to zoom in and zoom out the page you are in. So if you want to zoom out, you can go ahead and zoom out and look at the page. And so forth. Here, images. If you want to cache images, show images, or disable images, and some other options here. So go ahead and play around with this. Opera is very nice, very intuitive, and quick and easy. And of course, if you wanted to change your settings and other stuff here, you can go to Tools, Preference, and you can change. This is where you can come and change the home page, how the startup is, pop-ups, ones, searches, web pages, and advanced controls and options here. So go ahead. If you don't have Opera, I would recommend that you get it. It's very fast, easy to use, intuitive. Just like I said with Firefox and Flock. These are all basically alternatives to Internet Explorer, and basically they rival Internet Explorer because they're so fast, they're easier, and they're more secure than Internet Explorer is. So all the browsers we looked at for Windows, Firefox, Google Chrome, Flock, and Opera, those are all great web browsers. My favorite being Firefox and Google Chrome. Either one, whichever one you prefer, I suggest that you at least have one alternative web browser. We don't want to see that again. And so, this is Opera. Go ahead and download it. You'll love it. That's it for this video.